think what makes this school different from other schools is that we're really trying to look at the underlying structure of how schools are set up and do something that's more organic.
I get inspired when I see the kids getting excited about a project or getting to turn something that they've been working on into a product. You know, when kids are busy working and excited about their task, it makes it really fun and it makes it exciting to plan another project.
What if we didn't think about schools as institutions? What if we thought about schools as ecosystems? And what if we thought about the principles of permaculture and applied them to the ways that we structure schools?
In permaculture, it's all about taking a look at on-site resources, and resources could be material things like objects, or it could be services, it could be people as well. And here on this campus, I feel like it's really important for kids to have ownership in their place, and the only way they're going to have that sense of ownership is if they're a part of the process from the beginning.
At Laurel Tree Charter School, permaculture is a big part of our daily lives. When we compost our food, some of that goes to the chickens who supply us with eggs, and the chickens help the garden, and we eat the food from the garden, so it all goes around in a circle.
The permaculture principles of, earth care, people care, fair share, as well as the sustainability of creating something that is a long-term entity, that's huge. That's ingrained within our school.
If you take the principles of permaculture and you apply them to schools, then you're taking things like the first principle of permaculture, which is observe. Prolonged and thoughtful observation. So you're looking at a system or a kid or a way that something's working or not working, and you're taking the time to really look at that carefully before you jump in.
One of the ways that, traditionally permaculture is seen as like an environmental thing, but doing it as a school, that prolonged observation, we get to watch our kids, and rather than just putting them in a box and saying, this is the curriculum you need, this is the grade where you are, we get to observe them and say, I think this is going to work the best for you. And so we can make that change for that individual kid.
Here at Laurel Tree, we focus on earth care. Like, we have all this stuff to help us sustain. Like, we have these water passages to help move the water around and help filter the water.
The permaculture principle about theater in school would definitely be each element has many different purposes. The great thing about theater is it's so socially connecting. Middle school and high school kids, they're all about social connection, and so theater is a way to do that. It's also fabulous for bringing up your reading comprehension, your fluency, all those things go way up when you're doing theater. Kids really like it. It's great community building. So it's like one thing that we can do, and it does a lot of things for us, and that's a very permaculture principle.
Our tribes rotate from teacher to teacher, and they consist of a group of kids from kindergartners all the way through to seniors. And so each tribe stays together for a whole year at a time, and they really get to know one another and become a little pod almost, traveling through the school. And then those groups travel through to teachers, so that the teacher gets to have a really neat interaction with each of those kids. There's those classroom interactions, and then there's aha moments of teaching interactions, and then there's just the interactions of sitting down and eating with the students and talking to them about interests in outside school life and family life and values. And you really get to know each individual, whether you're teaching them or not, on a different level.
I dig that the little kids get to work with the big kids. They get to eat lunch together. The big kids help us with gardening projects and help mitigate rainwater coming off our roof. And it's just more than book work. It's about life.
I've taught here now for 9 years, and so it's been really fun to grow in my teaching as well as to grow with the families, and to know that we've had that. There's some kids that I feel like, I've watched them grow for 9 years. And so it's much more than just a teacher. I feel like I'm kind of I'm an aunt or one of their families, I get to have that relationship with them, and that's really special.
and we're exploring things, we're running outside, we're running back inside, we're creating things, they're finding things, they've got journals, they're sharing about what they've been drawing and observing in the world around. We get to come back inside and explore those. We've got animals in the classroom, animals outside of the classroom that they help participate in the care and the love and the feeding, and so that's a huge part of our community as well. And you know, the sciences are just so real. It's about life, and they get a chance to really have a hands-on approach to that.
I see that they not only come to school and they learn reading and math and science, but they learn how to mediate with their peers, and they learn how to cook in the kitchen, and they learn how to recycle and compost, and how things work on an everyday level for a household or a business to run. I mean, that, you know, it starts with the little things all the way up to the actual job title of what you do.
I think this is a great program for the school because this goes beyond sustainability. This is regenerative. When these guys leave this program, they're going to take that process of design and apply it to other aspects of their life. They're going to objectively observe with intention. They're going to move into the process of thinking things through before they move into that implementation stage. And I'm hoping that they'll apply that to their life, whether it's, you know, secondary academics, or it's just moving on into a career or a family. And that's my intention with this program.
What we do today is going to be here tomorrow, and so how do we really look at the kind of footprint that we're leaving behind, and how do we change that and make it a better place?
You know where you're going. You already have a vision for what your group is trying to do. Then by observing it, you can just make those minor changes and keep refining the system and keep making those revisions, and you keep moving forward with things.
Now you see why Laurel Tree is the great school for kids that want to have great life skills.